Devshri, basically, we started with the concept that we wanted to make a home where, like a stately home, where a family from if I could say, from the earthly past had come back to his village and lived. Because you see, I had a corporate background like you. I worked in Tata Steel, and before that, I worked for Reckitt and Coleman. Did my business management. So after I believed I had got common sense, I came back home, and we had our old properties around. We started the castle, and then we started with this property here. Because I'm the younger brother, I got the back end of my house, and I decided to, rather, it's not me, my wife and myself, and my children who have now joined in, to make a property which helped people to enjoy the experience of the past, yet be contemporary. Which meant that, doesn't mean that you'll have Rajasthani food here, because my travels have been all over India, my wife's travels have been all over. So we could then provide you with an experience of having different types of food, different experiences of staying in different areas, and how fond we are about our own country. So I've traveled by bus from north of India, which is Ladakh, Leh, Zanskar area, right up to southern tip in a bus, and from Gujarat going right up to Nagaland and Mizoram. One of our dogs is called Mikey because that means a lady in Assamese. This one has got Ladli because this is from Rajasthan. So we are actually giving an experience of people living with us. As you might notice right now, sir, you'll see these butterflies flying through. These butterflies are breeding in the forest, and these are yellow immigrants which are flighting through from the west and going east, and the numbers have gone down since the time it's got a bit cold. And while we were doing it, you might see there that we used local artisans, and these guys who are actually working there are Bhils, and they have taken the design specs of our Mewar architecture, and they've worked for over 5-7 years to make this. This stone is very hard to carve with. Most marble craftsmanships are available, but this kind of work is only done by these chaps, and they work very hard. When people come to us, we give them an experience. Like, for example, at the back, if you see at the lake, we've got a spoonbill feeding. These are lesser whistling teals. There's an egret. The migration of the birds have started. We've had the blue-winged teal and the gadwall come in, and this winter migration which comes from Siberia, Ladakh, Leh, Zanskar and that region have started coming in. Soon we'll have the grey-lag geese and the bar-headed geese come into this lake, and as there's less water this year, you will find that more bird life which are surface feeders, they will be here. In terms of taking people out into the country, we take people out to give them an experience of rural life. I take them out on cycles, I take them out on jeeps, we take them out for walks into the country, show them our heritage sites. We have this Deogarh where Maharana Pratap won his first battle against Pratap's generals, and we won it. Haldigati was a battle where we can't say there was a decision, but here we won, and we believe that's our first battle that took place where we could say that the independence movement of India started from here. Okay. So I'll show you one very interesting feature. Now, if you might notice, this is the acacia tree, and this acacia is the local tree of this region. Okay. And when the Maharaja of Jodhpur actually went to buy aeroplane engines to America, he came across a tree which is called the Prosopis junifora, and this tree he went and sprinkled the seeds all over Marwar, and now you find this Angreji Baula, which is also called Kikar, which is all over India. Oh. Because he actually got it from America. It's a Mexican plant. A lot of time people mistake it to be a African plant, but so we actually give that. We are local people, if I could call we go this way. As we are the local people of this area, if I could say, I'm the son of the soil and not the son of a king. I'm the son of a soil who has been here. I like my birds. I almost know 90-95% of the birds here. And the butterflies. For example, now you see that's the yellow grass which is flying. Now that one is the small Arab. Now it's called the Arab because this butterfly is seen right up to Arabia. That's why it's called the small Arab. It's a beautiful, it's a low flying butterfly. And we've tried to create bush cover here so that we can have butterflies, birds that come. This pool has been such design where not a single tree got damaged. Now I'll show you an interesting feature. We are using solar heating. On top of my garage I put a black alkathene pipe.
Okay.
There is the green pipe taking cold water out. I have put the pachranga of my school at the back, my flag.
I can see that.
The reason the pachranga is there is because the 5 different communities that have been part and associated with all the families of Rajasthan. That's why they were chosen the 5 colors in that flag. And in their emblem we had the Bhil and the Rajput together. And that denoted that the Rajputs fought with their local tribals, the Bhils. And I'm still continuing with the Bhils at work. So that's my, if I could say, the passion of still living.
Definitely a revelation. Shatrunjay, I never knew the significance of this pachranga.
जी वो अपने if you see Jaipur में भी the pachranga comes from the 5 different castes,
Okay.
which have been conquered by them and ruled by them. But Mayo it was taken that they are the people with whom we associate, so we must live with it's all encompassing the different communities. So it, of course the saffron sits right on top, but the green comes third. So, and the Jain's whites are also there.
Oh.
So that's how the colors have been chosen. So our experience of here has been basically rural. We grow 90% of the food we are growing ourselves. Wheat, gram, maize, millet, vegetables. I do a barter system. Right now I've had a lot of cauliflower. So I've given cauliflower to a wholesaler who's given me a slip. Now fresh vegetables, when they come in, these vegetables will be collected by us on daily basis from the farmers directly. Okay. So all our vegetables are fresh. You've tried some of our pickles, which have been
awesome.
The food, unfortunately, we tend to make more of non-vegetarian food, which is by me, but my wife is very good at vegetarian. So today you're going to try some of the pathods and papad ki sags and kanda ki sag, which is a very local dish. Is and
awesome.
If you try hare tomato or hari mirchi ki sag, which is really nice. I'm going to make you one of these days with that. Then the flavors of amchur, which is basically imli.
Yes.
उसका एक अलग स्वाद आता है. नींबू से बहुत अलग होता है. So we will.
Shatrunjay, the best part about your property is, I think the family is involved. And
yeah.
So meeting
and my mother coming in the evening
and we had a wonderful chat with her.
Yeah, that's very kind of you to feel that way. So that's the tree I'm talking to you about.
Okay.
That's the Prosopis junifora, which is a local kikar. I always keep a ratter in my house.
Okay.
This is a Jack Russell. The ratter is a great animal to have because it's the first animal to warn you against snakes or any rats in your area, and she will not leave it. So that makes it quite interesting.
Show me your property.
Yes, sir. So I must tell you about the design.
Okay.
When we were designing this place, my wife and I, we sat down on this open pit of land which was marshy. I told my wife, what do you want as a house? Because I had not been able to provide her a house and I turned 50. She said, she wrote down cutlery, crockery, more of the lady stuff. She asked me, what do you want? I said, look, I was enamored by Swinton Jacob, the work which he did in Jaipur. And followed by that, there was a person called Major Mand who came and made many buildings for the various Maharajas. What they did was, they took the Islamic architecture, they took Hindu architectures, they took the Portuguese architecture and they blended it. So I actually caught hold of Kirti, who actually has worked with all these designs. And this is a typical, अपनी जो भारतीय हवेली होगी ना, वो है ये. So अगर आप अपनी पुरानी स्कूलों में जाएं, अगर आप you visited any of our old clubs or places, it is what is there, and that was what my personality exchange should be. And this is part of this area. We are not moving away. So we've actually seen chhatris which are nearby, taken those arches, drawn those arches to scale, taken photographs, made it in CAD, and then had these made. So this is like a 0-mile policy literally. Padharo, come this way. These two stones, this is Makrana pink. You see what happened when Makrana came out, there comes a pink shade. And now the problem with this pink is got variations. So people don't like it.
So this is not Bundi, I thought that was...
This is Makrana pink and this is Ambaji white. Okay. Ambaji is gone too old now, so the black shades have started coming, and I said this blends to my rural style, so it's not white, but it is that. Now I must tell you here, sir, not a single thing in this house is old.
Okay.
Everything has been collected by wife and I. Wow. In terms of that. And it's her choice. She has worked with it. These chandeliers have been designed by her. This dining room is totally based on, again, the same design. We've kept it open, fresh air, winds passing through. Everything is very personalized. Your wife is right now having a massage trained by a local boy. He does pressure. Yeah, these pressure points. You know, I have a bad back, and he learned on me, experimenting on me, to work on my back. So he knows the pressure points, and he can work with your...
I'm enjoying thoroughly.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. So nice that it's...
Extremely good. He extremely knows his job.
These are my forefathers here, some of them. Kishan Singh ji, and that's a very romantic story of this gentleman, Jaswant Singh ji, who you're seeing here. He fell in love with a local princess from Badnor, the famous story of Jaimal. And his father wanted to get him married to Sir Pratap's daughter, who was Jodhpur. But he had fallen in love with her. He said, I'll only marry her. So the father, who's here, Kishan Singh ji on the right, he decided with his manager to poison the young lady. So in the process, he also got poisoned, and both passed away with a young child. And they are now treated as like holy souls who guide us. These various of my forefathers have come and gone. My children are the 6th generation at Mayo. So they got spoiled at Mayo, if I could say. What's the thing that we were working with was, now this table is a lapis lazuli, if I could say, a peg table, which my wife has designed with a local craftsman from Firozabad. who ये brass काम करते हैं लोग आज भी.
This is beautiful, and I think these are shells.
Yes, sir. This is lapis lazuli. और ये what is very nice in India, these switches are new, they're not old. ये बने हुए हैं अभी. ये जो आपकी जो chandeliers हैं, ये अपने भारतीय हैं. बिल्कुल फिरोजाबाद सर. What actually my wife did was she's used 3-4 different pieces of different, if I could say, chandeliers to put it together. So while we were doing it, I said to my wife that, now for example, those are actual miniatures. We have taken photocopy of those miniatures of Deogarh miniatures and put them here, made by Chokhan Bakhtan, those famous artists that are there. We come to this side, this is a bit of a, I'm a little embarrassed about it. My wife has put me right into the corner only because I insisted on having a painting made of us in the old style.
And who did this?
So this was a gentleman in Calcutta, Mr. Mithil, who was based in Calcutta. And Jodhpur Maharaja, when he came here, he and the Bikaner Bhavan Niwas owner, he very kindly, they actually gifted it to me.
This is a beautiful painting, Shatrunjay.
But cornered because my wife is very embarrassed that I had one made.
And how long did they take to do this?
So I'm not very sure because I request. He said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Sir, my dream is to have a painting of ours in the old style." He said, "Send me a photograph." So only the bust was there. This all has been. I don't have a silver throne or this footrest. Nothing. It's just a just a thing that has been made. So these.
Any significance of that?
This, a big significance. My parents' 50th wedding anniversary, my wife and myself, we gifted this to my father. This is a pichwai which has been done in Nadwara. Okay. And this is actually gold leaf with which they work even now in Nadwara. Wow. So we gave this to my father, and after he passed away, my mother very sweetly said to me that, "Listen, this is one token of our togetherness to you." So that's how I got this.